Have you ever had an unexpected moment that completely changed your life? That's what happened when I met Romeo, my rescue dog. And today I want to share the story of how this little guy went from wandering the streets alone in a blizzard to becoming our family dog. The search started innocently enough. We were not even sure if we wanted to adopt, but we found ourselves on this website called Broken Tail Rescue. We scrolled through the photos and the descriptions, and there he was, little Stubbs, with the little tiniest tail that you've ever seen. His story was heartbreaking. Stubbs had been found wandering the streets during a blizzard, and he was taken to a shelter where he lived for a few months. He was later placed with a foster family while waiting for his forever home. The rescue team estimated that he was about 3 years old at the time. Unfortunately, Stubbs had been adopted twice and returned twice within just a few short months, and we were told that he really should live in a home with no small children and where he could be the only dog. And something about his picture and a little tear in his eye really drew us in. We set up a meet and greet at the park, and I remember that day so clearly. The sky was overcast, it was about to rain, and we were both a little bit nervous, me and my daughter. When we got there, the foster mother explained that they already had 2 dogs that slept on the bed, so poor Stubbs had to sleep on the floor because there wasn't just enough room for him, and it broke my heart to hear that. We stood there talking to the host family when Stubbs walked over and peed on my daughter's leg. It was hilarious and gross at the same time, but yeah, at that moment we looked at each other and we both knew he had chosen us. The foster family just laughed and said, "I guess he claimed you." It started to rain lightly, but Romeo didn't seem to mind at all, and we were joking about what a tough dog he must be to survive a blizzard on his own. Later we found out that he actually does not like the rain at all, but that day he just wanted to be with us, and we knew we couldn't leave without him. We officially put in the application, and then we had to wait for the home visit, and those few weeks that we had to wait really seemed like to last forever, but then finally we got the call, Romeo can come home. The day before we picked him up, we went shopping for a cozy bed, toys, anything that we would make him feel comfortable and at home. But here's the funny thing. The bed, the toys, everything that we had bought for him, he tore it apart like it was his mission. When we arrived at the park to pick him up and to bring him home, they handed me his leash, and while we were walking away, Romeo kept looking back towards his foster mom, his little tail wagging oh so slightly, and it really broke my heart because he seemed so confused and so scared, and he didn't know that he was going home to his forever home now. That moment made me realize how much trust animals put in us to take care of them. And I felt this huge responsibility. Now, he sat quietly on my daughter's lap as we drove home, but the minute that we entered my home, he darted upstairs and made himself comfortable in my daughter's bed. And that's when I knew he felt safe, and I thought, okay, we're gonna be all right. But that first month really wasn't easy because Romeo barked and growled at everything and everybody. Anyone who walked by the house, strangers, friends, random noises. He seemed so anxious, like he was constantly on alert. I hired a trainer, but after a few sessions, even the trainer started cutting the sessions short because Romeo just wasn't responding as we had hoped, and the little treats didn't help at all. It was very frustrating. So I never forgot one day in particular. He was barking nonstop, and I was at my wit's end. I remember sitting on my couch and feeling defeated and just thinking, I don't think I can do this. Maybe he is just too much for us. I even for a moment considered returning him, but deep down there was something in me that just couldn't go through with that. I kept telling myself he's been through so much already. He just needs time. He needs love. So we kept going, and slowly, day by day, things started to change. Over time, Romeo started to relax more. He stopped barking and growling at every sound he heard, and he started to trust us more. What was funny though was this dynamic he had with my daughter. Even though that I was the one walking and feeding him, Romeo had this hilarious love-hate relationship with my daughter. One moment he would cuddle up with her, and the next moment he would give her this look like, I am mad at you. It really became a joke in the house. Now, Romeo also developed a serious love for peanut butter and cheese. Must be the Dutch in him. Anytime he used to hear a jar open or he sees a piece of cheese, he comes running, which always makes us laugh because otherwise he's pretty laid back. We've also taken road trips together. I'll never forget those long stretches of road with him sitting next to me, looking out the window. He's been with us for 11 years now, and even though he's lost his hearing and is slowly losing his sight, he's still the same loving, stubborn little dog that chose us in the park that day. So, adopting Romeo wasn't really the easy road, but it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. He's taught me so much about patience, resilience, and the power of unconditional love. I couldn't imagine our lives without him. So if you're thinking about adopting a pet, know that these animals are not just pets, they become family. They bring so much love in your life, and while there may be challenges, the bond you form is worth every single moment. I'd love to hear your story about how an animal saved your life. Let's share those in the comments, and thank you so much for being here with me today.